Remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Greetings, I am Mr. Grimreaper 512, and I'm going to give you my review. This is my review for V for Vendetta. Enjoy. What's going on, you guys? I am, as always, Mr. Grimreaper 512. Okay, make sure of that. Okay, I'm Mr. Grimreaper 512, and welcome everybody to my channel. And today on this edition of Back in Time with Mr. Grimreaper 512, I'm going to give you guys my review for the 2005 film V for Vendetta. Let me see. Okay, so this film was directed by James McTeague. This film is based on the graphic novel by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. This film stars Natalie Portman, Hugo Weaving, Stephen Ree, and John Hurd. Now, this film is one of the most controversial films in the history of this film is one of the most controversial films in the history of cinema. Basically because of what went on. Basically because of what happened with this whole situation. So, okay, so the whole idea for the film, was that it deals with issues involving homosexuality, criticisms of religion, totalitarianism, Islamophobia, and terrorism. And basically, if you guys have ever heard of the story of Guy Fawkes, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He basically was the person behind the there's this thing on the 5th of November where he was this guy that was he was the dude that blew up Parliament in England and stuff like that. And so, like always, we are going to talk about this. We are going to talk about the plot and stuff like that. So, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts about this whole situation afterwards. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and I'm also going to be giving you my... Things are about to get political in this, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on how I felt when watching the movie. So let's deal with the plot here. Okay, 2027, the world is in turmoil and warfare, with the United States fractured as a result of prolonged Second Civil War and a pandemic of the St. Mary's virus ravaging Europe. The United Kingdom is ruled as a Nordic supremacist and a neo-fascist police state by the Northfire Party, helmed by all-powerful High Chancellor Adam Sutler. Political opponents, immigrants, Jews, Muslims, atheists, homosexuals, and other undesirables are imprisoned and executed in concentration camps. That's bullshit. The Irish are not exterminated but are considered inferior compared to people of Nordic and British descent. On November 4th, a vigilante in a Guy Fawkes mask, identifying himself as V, rescues Evie Hammond, played by Natalie Portman, an employee of the state-run British television network, from members of the Fingermen secret police while she is out past curfew. From a rooftop, they watch as demolition of London's main criminal court, the Old Bailey, accompanied by fireworks and the 1812 overture. Inspector Finch of Scotland Yard is asked to investigate V's activities while BTN declares the incident an emergency demolition. V interrupts the broadcast to claim responsibility, encouraging the people of Britain to rise up against their government and meet him on next year's Guy Fawkes night outside the Houses of Parliament. During the broadcast, the police attempt to capture V. Evie helps him escape but is knocked unconscious. V takes Evie to his home where she is told she must remain for 1 year. V then kills Louis Pothero, Northfire's chief propagandist, and Anthony Lillman, the Bishop of London. Evie offers to help and uses the opportunity to escape to the home of her boss, comedian and talk show host Gordon Diedrich. In return of Evie trusting him with her safety, Gordon reveals prohibited materials including subversive paintings and an antique Quran and homoerotic photographs. Meanwhile, V confronts Dr. Delia Surridge, who had experimented on him and many other undesirables 20 years at Larkill concentration camp. Seeing her remorse for her past actions, he kills her painlessly. After Gordon performs a satire of the government on his show, his home is raided and Evie is captured. She is imprisoned and tortured for information about V, with her only solace being a note written by actress Valerie Page, a former prisoner who was tortured and killed for lesbianism. Evie is told she will be executed unless she reveals V's location. When she says she would rather die, she is inexplicably released and then finds herself in V's home. Turns out that V was the one who had captured her at Gordon's home and staged her imprisonment and tortured to free her from her fears. The note was real, passed from Valerie to V when he was in prison. He also informs her that Diedrich had been executed when the Quran was found in his home. While Evie initially hates V for what he did to her, she realizes she has become a stronger person. She leaves him, promising to return before November the 5th. Reading the deceased Surridge journal, Finch learns V is the result of human experimentation and has been targeting the people who detained him. Despite being stonewalled by the government, Finch searches for the true identity of V, chasing him to a bioweapons program in Larkill. Finch meets William Rookwood, who tells him that the program, which was directed by Sutler, who was the Undersecretary of Defense, resulted in the creation of the deadly St. Mary's virus. He further reveals that Creedy, a leader of the Northfire Party, released the virus onto English soil, killing 100,000 British residents and framing the outbreak as a result by a terrorist organization. The party, which promised security in times of social instability, used the ensuing wave of fear to elevate Sutler to the newly created office of High Chancellor and win an overwhelming majority in Parliament, becoming the elected government. Finch later discovers that Rookwood was V in disguise, and though he initially disbelieves the story, his faith in the Northfire government is severely shaken. As November 5th nears, V distributes thousands of Guy Fawkes masks, and the population questions party rule as the nation slowly descends into anarchy, ignited when one of the fingermen makes the mistake of shooting and killing a young girl committing vandalism, only to be killed in turn by a mob of enraged citizens. On the eve of November 5th, Evie wishes V, who shows her an explosive-laden train in the abandoned London Underground, set to destroy Parliament. He leaves it to Evie to decide whether to use it. V meets party leader Creedy, with whom he has a deal to surrender in exchange for Sutler's execution. After Creedy executes Sutler, V reneges on his deal and kills Creedy and his men. Mortally wounded, he returns to Evie, tells her he loves her before dying. As Evie places V's body aboard the train, she is found by Finch. Disillusioned by the party's regime, Finch allows Evie to send the train off. On the surface, thousands of unarmed Londoners wearing Guy Fawkes masks march towards Parliament. Since Greedy and Sutler are both dead, the military receives no order and allows the crowd to pass. As Parliament is destroyed, Finch asks Evie for V's identity, to which she replies, "He was all of us." Okay, so So let's talk about this film for a second. Okay, so the film basically is about how the government is dealing with people. How the government is screwing over people and all that, who they deem undesirable. And they decide to put them in these concentration camps and all that, and kill them and do whatever the hell they want to do, which is messed up to me, really. It doesn't. This is my thing about the whole situation. If you're different, it doesn't matter whether you're different or whether you're not. You're still human. You're still a human being. For them to put you in a concentration camp and try to kill you and try to murder you and try to make your life a miserable hell is completely wrong. While I agree somewhat, I don't agree. Actually, really be honest, I don't agree at all, really, with the crap that they did in this movie. What V did, I do agree with. He was trying to make things better. He's trying to make things. He was trying to make things a little bit better, to where they would shut down the government. The government is making this bastard Creedy. This bastard Sutler actually is doing terrible shit. Both Creedy and Sutler are doing completely awful things to these people because of the fact that they're lesbians or they're homosexuals or whatever, which is crap. So basically, these dudes are the way how I figured out this movie was basically this. Is that this movie, I love this movie from beginning to end. I love the political stance that they had with against these. I love the political aspect of how this movie was. So I felt that this movie was really good. I love this movie a lot. The way they treated people, the way this government treated people was completely not right. The way people were being treated during this movie was not right. They're gonna get taken to concentration camps because they're different, because they're a little different. That's bullshit to me. And V was doing what he needed to do to fight against the government, fight against the scrutiny that is British government. He's doing whatever he could to make their lives miserable. You know what I mean? So what I love the Hugo Weaving played a really good character in this movie. And I'm surprised at how different the graphic novel was between this and the graphic novel. I'm surprised how different there's some stuff from the graphic novel that I saw, but there's a lot of stuff that's completely different from this. So yeah, I love this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Yesterday was the 5th of November, so I wanted to do it yesterday, but I was just worn out from yesterday anyway. But I loved this movie a lot, and I enjoyed watching this movie a lot. But yeah, there's some cheesy stuff in this, but not really. But I still gave it a 10 out of 10. I love V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta was one of my favorite movies that I've ever watched in my entire life, and I enjoy the hell out of it. So yeah. And then the whole political aspect I thought was very interesting. Like I said before, they're calling him a terrorist, but when the real terrorists are the government itself, is Parliament itself, is the goddamn government. You know what I mean? Those are the real terrorists that are sending these poor people to concentration camps and doing terrible shit. So you mean to tell me that that's right? That because you're different and because people call you undesirable because you're a little different? Whether it's your religion, whether it's your sex, whether it's anything else, you're gonna fucking send someone to a concentration camp to be beaten, abused, to be killed, to be murdered, to be less human. No, that's not right. That's why I love this movie, because he's trying to fight against these bastards, against these son of a bitches. Now, you could say that this movie split people's ideals about politics, especially here in the United States, that we got a dumbass for a president. People have been splitted because this idiot, and I'm gonna and just so you know, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of what I think about the president, because I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. I think the president's complete crap. But I don't like him one bit. Because of all the stuff that he has done. I'm not gonna explain it to you, to all the MAGA dumbasses that love to kiss his ass all the time. I'm not gonna explain it to any of you dumbasses, period. If I have to explain it, that means you're a dumbass. But I think this movie kind of reminds me a little bit of what's going on with our government, with the United States, with the U.S. government. This son of a bitch, this Donald Trump son of a bitch, is doing whatever he can to make others people's life a miserable hell. He is splitting up families, Mexican families, for his own well-being, for his own garbage. And then not to mention the fact that he's taking Medicare away. He's taking, well, they're trying to take away Medicare. They're trying to take away Social Security. He's trying to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And what he's doing is wrong. A lot of the things that he does is wrong. If you don't like what I'm saying about it, that's fine. Don't watch this video. But you know what? I know this video is the only video that I'm never gonna get political on, because I don't really see the difference between English Parliament and our government. Our government is the most corrupted government in world history. So is English Parliament. And this movie says a lot. This movie said a lot. And I enjoyed watching it. So, whatever your political stance is, and stuff like that, I really don't care what it is. That's why I'm asking y'all guys, go vote. Vote blue at least. Vote blue at least. And get this asshole, get this orange prick out of the White House. But yeah, let me know exactly what y'all guys think of V for Vendetta, and what other political films have y'all seen that you may or may not like. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm Mr. Grimreaper 2, and I'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.